Hi, welcome to Experimenter's booth at the Armory Show in New York. We're showing 9 different artists from the program and I'm going to walk you through some of them now. A central part of our booth is Bhasha Chakrabarti's work. This is done in Hampi in the southern part of India. The work is called Monolithic Witnesses. It's about a formation of these large rocks that are juxtaposed next to a 64-pillared mandapa. And these large buildings are often testaments to time gone by. They're juxtaposed alongside this idea of mankind and human innovation and building, but also how these rocks often stand the test of time. And there's this idea of resilience and landscape and this idea of excavation that is at the center and crux of several of the works in our booth. So we turn around, there's Biraaj Dodiya's work as well. Biraaj is showing a set of paintings over here. These are often nocturnal landscapes, or these are landscapes of a sort of tectonic splicing of the earth. So if you look very closely, you will see this sort of these gashes, almost like an X-ray vision of the earth. This particular work is called A Day is Vast. As we move forward, we have the work over here of Rathin Barman, who is also engaged in excavation and in memory in a certain way. He looks at built structures in and around North Bengal and northern parts of Calcutta. These are cast in concrete and are often created using anecdotes and memories of original occupants of these large palatial homes. Next to this is the work of Sakshi Gupta. And Sakshi Gupta works primarily in metal scrap. These are a set of pigeons that have been recast and founded using metal scrap. This is discarded material that has all been hand welded. Each part has been hand welded by Sakshi. These are often like silent witnesses in the city. Pigeons are around us all the time, but we tend to overlook them. We tend to overlook a lot in our everyday surroundings, and this is also the center of Ayesha Sultana's work. For instance, Ayesha Sultana presents a new body of work called Inhabiting Our Bodies. And it very much has to do with our own corporeal reality, whether it's bodily fluids or whether it's the juxtaposition of the body with relation to landscape in sort of these amphibious, sort of translucent but liquid forms that she's looking at. We move on a little bit again to the body and ideas of the body, and we look at the work of the master printmaker KrishnaReddy, who lived and worked here in New York until he passed. This is a very important print by Reddy called Praying Woman. It has a verticality, it has the form of a human being. It also considers elements of the self and spirituality. And you notice this sort of elongated form that is also very sculptural, which is at the center of Reddy's practice. As we move on, we look at landscape once again. We have the work of Vinoja. It's a work called Sky, which is almost like a topographical top-down view of a landscape that has been ravaged over time. And it's been rendered by Vinoja using textile. You notice very interesting horizon lines and sort of these bunkers and map-like patterns that is very significant and a part of Vinoja's practice. Next to Vinoja is the work of Kanishka Raja. This is a very interesting painting from the I series by Raja. It also references idyllic landscapes such as Switzerland that he often referenced. Each panel here, this is a work that has several paintings juxtaposed into one. So if you look at one panel here as part of this diptych, it is painted at the same time as the panel on its right side. Each work corresponds to each other, and the I reference is a Jamaican reference that often, it really means same but different. They're all painted at the same time, but it also references color codes such as CMYK and RGB. And Raja often worked with these two dualities and inversions throughout his works. This idea of sameness but difference and translation. As we move on, this is also a grid that he had worked on that references very closely his mind and how he was thinking at the time of painting this work. We move on to the work again of Bhasha Chakrabarti, which looks at these beautiful skyscapes, but they're rendered and they're painted using tea towels. Bhasha again looks at everyday life and sort of these fleeting moments of time, which Sohrab Hura also references in a sort of very personal work that is autobiographical in some ways. These are all soft pastel on paper. Sohrab's actually going to have an opening at the MoMA PS1 next month here in New York. So if you're here, please do visit. A lot of these works from this series will also be available there to view. Each of these works look at everyday life. They look at memory. They look at ideas of longing, of beauty. Some of them have a lot of humor in them. As you can see, there's some really funny titles over here. Self-portrait as a 19-year-old grandmother. So there is a softness and an idea of the personal in these works by Sohrab. So I hope you enjoyed our little preview of our booth, and do feel free to stop by during the week if you're in New York. Thank you.